Hello everybody, welcome to my new Sunday market breakdown. Okay, I hope you had a very nice weekend. Yeah, let's start with the DXY as usual. So we are at the monthly chart and you can see we reached that monthly highs. What I was telling about a few weeks ago, that we can reach that zone and then we can have again some sellers. As we look more in the past, then you can see this is also a major selling zone. So as you can see, the sellers are coming in. We had a downside momentum. Sellers are coming in, downside. Sellers are coming in. We are under it, downside, downside. So every time we are below that region, we went to the downside. There is a high chance to. So if I go now to the weekly chart, then you can see we had this minus 6080 weekly flip completion from the low here till a high, minus 6080, aligning with that horizontal black line. If I go now to the daily, we are also still very bullish because we have that bullish M here that can complete. So we can come to the downside because we have also that daily indicational candle close that the bears can kick in. So if I go now to the 4-hour, then you see we have still that bullish M here that can stop our price here, and then we can go back to the upside. So the DXY is still very bullish. We need to see what will happen this week on the DXY. So we are also forming here some deceleration already. So yeah. So now I will go to my pairs that I had in mind this week. The first one is Euro AUD. So if I go to the monthly chart, then you can see that we had a monthly flip completion here from the high here till the low, minus 6080, very nice aligning, very nice rejection wick. And then we have this supply and demand zone acting as support, resistance, resistance, support, 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 and then again support. So that's very nice to see. And if I go now to, no, I can say also that we have a monthly bullish candle close. It's also a nice indication because we will have a new monthly candle. So then I went to the weekly and I saw that we have a kind of head here, then a shoulder one, head, shoulder two. The buyers are coming in from that point that we can go to the upside. We are also at weekly highs, but we have that weekly bullish candle. So that's nice. So I looked further on the daily for a pattern. So on the daily, then you can see we have this possible shoulder one, head, shoulder two. We didn't reach yet that zone of interest here where the buyers are kicking in very impulsively. But I saw also a pattern within a pattern. We have that bullish M here, and then I can see we have that same highs. So I expect same lows. So the natural M, so a pattern within a pattern, which is increasing our trade possibility. If I go now to the 4-hour chart, it loads. It's a little bit slow today. Yes. So as you can see on the 4-hour, we are at the daily highs. And then I saw a pattern, the shoulder one here, the head, nice shoulder two. We broke this descending trend line here. So this was also very correctively. So yeah, that's nice to see if you can come also correctively. I just set my limit here and then I will go. Then we can take partials out at the 4-hour TP. So that's very nice. And then the daily TP is our last daily, our last take partials moment. So around 4.9%. So the next pair is EURJPY then. So if I go to the monthly chart, I will refresh it. Then you can see we are at a major selling point. As you can see, a very important one. So this is also a clear supply and demand zone at this horizontal black line. This is resistance, 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 support, support, resistance, resistance, and again possible resistance. We are also having a nice rejection already from that new monthly candle that will open. So that's very nice. And we have a flip completion from the low here till a high, minus 27 here. If I go to the weekly, then I can see that we have a bullish M on the weekly, this bullish M with the institutional candle higher low. So this is holding our price up So this is a very important region, but we have a weekly bearish candle close here. So then I went to the daily and I saw, okay, we had this bullish M here and we broke it. So we made a kind of reversal pattern in the form of a shoulder one here, head, shoulder two with a smaller pattern. If I go to the line chart, this is the bearish W, smaller bearish W, so that's nice. If I go back, and you can also see already that we are reversing at the 61.80 with a daily bearish candle close, so that's very nice. If I go to the 4-hour chart, then you can see that we're having here that bearish W. So that's nice with the descending trend line. So what I expect is that we can go till this higher low here. So yeah, that I can take my trade here at this high here. Very nice aligning with our daily zone of interest here, where the sellers kicked in, from that point. So that's very nice. So this trade, I will set my limit. And the next pair is AUDJPY on the monthly chart. Then I can see a major region, a very nice supply and demand zone acting as resistance, sellers coming in, support, big moves here, support, and then possible resistance again, aligning with this descending trend line. The first touch, second touch, third touch, downside. So that's very nice to see. And yeah, if I go now to the weekly, on the monthly, we can also see two rejection candles of that monthly descending trend line. So that's very nice indications. If I go now to the weekly chart, then you can see we had that big rejection week here, sellers kicking in, and then the week after again. So that's a nice indication. And I went to the daily chart then, and I saw the possible shoulder one here, the head, shoulder two, as you can see, and then we reversed at the 61.80. We just didn't tap the daily zone of interest, but that's for me here not necessary, because this is for me a touch so close at that zone, and the 61.80 got tapped, and then the 4-hour pattern that's aligning. Yeah, that's the bearish W here. So I expect a corrective price action to the upside, and then I will take my trade here, my limit here, and I will put my stop loss above this wicks here. I just give it some space, and then I can reach the daily TP for around 4.5% there. So that's what I can see. So the next pair is AUDCHF on the monthly chart. What I can see is that I will just zoom in. Okay, so we can see we have here the bearish W here, and we have that monthly bearish candle close this month, and this is just a false break of that high. As you can see, we broke above, the next candle came back in it, so that's very nice. So that's a nice indication that we can go to the downside again till these lows, because same highs, same lows. So yeah, and we can see that this is also a supply and demand, so acting as support, resistance here, support, and resistance. So that's a nice zone also on the monthly. And what I can see on the weekly is we have a smaller bearish W, 1, 2, 3, 4, possible fifth leg for more downside momentum. We had also the deceleration, big retrace candles of that zone, very nice to see, and the weekly bearish candle close. So I went to the daily chart then, and what we saw is that we could have a possible shoulder one. These are the same highs here, double top, head, and shoulder two. So what I can see again at the previous pair is that we just didn't tap here the 61.80, but this is for me a tap. So subtle, not tapped it. So yeah, that's nice. And we are also under our supply and demand zone here. As you can see, big sellers are coming in from that point. So yeah, I expect that we will not touch this shoulder one on the daily again. So on the 4-hour, so then I went to the 4-hour and I saw that we can have that shoulder one here, shoulder one, head, shoulder 2, then corrective price action, then downside momentum, just taking my limit then, and yeah, we will see what will happen then. So also very corrective nature here, ascending trend line very correctively. So impulse, correction, impulse. That's the market structure of the market. So the last pair is CHFJPY. So if I go to the monthly chart, then you can see that we are at the major selling point. Sellers are kicking in very impulsively. We can expect that too here. We had some kind of big week, so the buyers went till this highs and we went all the way to this lows here. So I can see that this bears can come in next month, that there is a high chance to, if I take my Fibonacci here from the low till the high, we have a minus 60, 80 aligning here with that zone of interest, that horizontal black line. So that's nice. If I go to the weekly, then you can see that we have a bearish candle close. That's an indication for me. Very nice. We have still this bullish M here, but yeah, this trend line will align then if we will go back up. So that's nice to see. If I go to the daily, no, weekly, we had also here some deceleration with the large wick, so that's nice. And on the daily, then you can see we already made the pattern, the shoulder 1, the head, shoulder 2, we went to the downside. So what I can expect right now is, if I look to the shoulder 1, we had 1, 2, 3 days, and now we have 1, 2. This was very impulsively coming to the downside, so I expect some corrective price action again till this point, to have also those 3 days here, and then we can go to the downside till the daily take profit point. So if I go now to the 4-hour chart, then you can see that we can make here a pattern, the shoulder 1, the head, shoulder 2. So we can go here to the upside like this, and then maybe a nice fib completion from the low here to the high, fib completion aligning here, and then we can go to the downside. So yeah, that's what I can see for this week, guys. I hope you will have a nice trading week, and yeah, be careful for the new monthly candle close. A lot of volume will get in that month, at the beginning of that month. So yeah, see you next time. Bye.